girl.
Right, here we go. Very nice to meet you. When I came here today, it felt a little bit like 12 angry men. You know when you've got a panel that's already made a decision for political reasons, for social reasons, nepotism. I knew already you lot have already made your decision because you didn't ask one question taken from the information we gave you. I know how councils run. So this is a done deal, we know, but we're going to put you on record. Why would this council want an independent panel? It confuses me. Why would they want to build a big firewall separating themselves between the past and now? Why? There's only one reason. Because you are protecting your people from Labour in 1998 and 2003. That's you are protecting either party. When we make this allegation, I'll read you a letter from a police officer that talks about the same old people acting the same old way in 2003. We've got a policeman who says that this same administration was trying to cover things up. So what are you trying to cover up? I don't get it. I'll tell you what you're trying to cover up. Liv is trying to hand you the parcel, and I'm telling you, it's a poison chalice. She's trying to get you to agree this scheme, and then it gets her out of a hell of a hop. I tell you what, we've seen the documents of the cover-up. We've seen exactly what Lambeth did in the past. So here we go. There was a newspaper article. Did anyone read it about James McCall? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Mirror.
You read it? What it says in there is the council have lied to us 2 months ago. And why did they lie about James McCall? And I gave you this case, Liv, a year ago. Why did they lie about James McCall? They lied because there were implications. Because James McCall, they said in 1998, had absolutely, his abuser was not employed by the council. That's what the council said.
And he was.
When we looked at it, he was not only employed by the council, he was a foster parent to that child. So your administration have lied to me now. Other lies you told. Actually, when we talk about £1,000, you turned around and said to me, legally, £1,000 is all we can give your poor peasants. That's what you said. You didn't use that terminology, but that's what I got from her. Sorry,
Why don't you say,
£1,000 hold on, £1,000 is legally all we can give. That's what you told me. Lo and behold, now it comes up to we can give £10,000 with a step increment.
I don't want to say
you don't even know what we're talking about. You told me that Helen Charles May was an independent person. That's what you told me when you introduced me to her. You told me she was independent from any part of the life. Liv was looking confused. We recorded that.
Yeah, you forget what you said.
Helen Charles May, when we're reading through the documents, Helen Charles May said, oh my God, that's my best friend that's involved in what you're saying is a cover-up. You knew exactly what was going on, and you have set up this scheme in such a way you can diminish any responsibility from the past. You lot are being asked to cover up the past. That's all you're there for. It's going to be your statement. We're going to be absolutely coming to you, committee members, who are going to pass this report. And what have they offered you? A job? Or are you going to keep your positions and the extra little bit of money you get? So we know how politics works. We're not idiots. We were in the hole. So here we are. You've got the same officers who persuaded Liv for political reasons. The same officers who persuaded Liv to turn a blind eye on what's going on. The same insurers that worked in 1998 to 2003 when you were there, the same insurers were whispering in the ears, please, you have to settle, or it could expose the council. Let me tell you, you're going to be exposed anyway. It's not your 15 minutes here. And you know what? It's not. And in dealing with you, I find it very strange. You have this anger and a deep-seated something that's going on. You know what? You turned around and said, in anger, I do what I want to do. You know what? There's some, you should be in politics. You don't have the temperament for the game. You know, we're all going to be led by her and those officers over here. And we know exactly what they're trying to hide. There's only one reason they don't want an independent panel. It's not because of expediency. Come on, you're not that ignorant. It's because they don't want a third party looking at their dirty washing. being fair and just, you've got your scheme here. Let's give it to an independent panel.
Yes!
Get an independent panel. You can't do it. Because, so what you're willing to do, Liv, and all you lot are willing to do, to stop absolutely a third party having a look at your dirty linen, you want to create a bespoke scheme that we can't even give evidence in person because of the way you've done it. Because it's an Lambeth, you're the one to administrate the scheme. You can't have a thing where we interject with the scheme and give our evidence. You can't do that. You can't have any independent scrutiny because you lot are covering up all your murky behind. What I'm saying to you is if you read the report, you have to remember, all of you councillors have to remember, if you establish this and you continue that link of cover-up, it falls on your head.
Yeah, it goes on.
But you will be held accountable. You will. You will, in fact.
God is not asleep. It will fall back on you all.
When we stated we wanted Michael Maxwell to speak, we received an email on the 16th of December stating, our preference is that you hear directly from the survivors, yeah? Do you want to hear what they think about the independent panel? Here's the survivors. They don't really know. Oh, those poor people. We can give them. We know exactly what's going on. We know the way we don't want independence.
When all as desperate as you think, Big Beck, when all as desperate as you are, I can't think. Okay.
Why did one person ask about the independence? Because you all of you have sold us out already. And we're like, we know. Let's move on to the next thing. What we discovered during our 3-year investigation is Lambeth Council at every tier of management was infected by a paedophile ring. We know this.
And the government is involved.
What was happening at Lambeth Council was corruption. And absolutely, that corruption compromised those paedophiles. They knew they could get away with it because of the corruption that was going on. And there's some faces in here must know that. So, what did the officers do? The officers decided to turn a blind eye. Why? Because it was their people that were abusing the kids. So, when you've got officers conforming to a redress scheme that suits the old agenda, and the old agenda is, first of all, we're going to cover this up and keep this in-house. And you know how we know this? Because we'll read you a letter which shows about the old agenda. This shows a police officer absolutely pointing out what the old administration was doing and what the new administration in 2003 were about.
This is a letter from Clyde Driscoll. He investigated previously abuse at SHIRLEY OAKS. When I told Operation Care about his concerns, they said this was really serious. I said it is really serious. What you're saying casts doubts over the new regime at Lambeth, and exactly the sort of thing which appears to have happened in the John Carroll case in the past, is happening now. Why have you not disclosed this to us before? And that's the name of one of the abusers, which Lambeth said they had no idea about, and only came forward when they were pushed by SOSA. I cannot understand why I haven't been told. Liv said, I showed you Jim Carlton's file at the start of this operation. I said, that is correct. But I asked, was there any relative within it? And you replied, it's a healthcare issue.
Whoa.
See that?
I said, you never told me what you're telling me now. It seems to me that you're setting me riddles when you should be giving me information. This is extremely serious. What else are you going to wait to find for us to find out? Libby replied, there are at least 7 or more like this. I said, what are you going to do? Wait until we find out and tell them? And we've heard today that there are other claims that have been mentioned by the Council for the Conservatives that we may not know about, but Lambeth knows about. So that's why we say it's ongoing, a continued cover-up.
Can I ask you something? Is there a solicitor sitting next to you?
Libby told me to go and see Helen. She said she was a good social worker, you'll like her. She would tell you everything. Libby supplied me with the phone number. Libby went on to say, I think Penny is rewriting history at the moment, making notes now. I said, what are you saying? This is really serious. Libby replied, they will want to cover this up.
So this is in 2003. Your officers, the same people, are trying to do exactly the same thing. So let's see what the head of social services thought at the time. So you can hear someone in the same position as Helen Charles was mayor, what they thought.
This is from Nigel Goldie. Now, some of you will know he's a former assistant director of Lambeth Social Services.
Yeah.
He's writing to you to express his concerns that the council is reportedly intending to appoint its own panel to decide on compensation for past residents of its children's homes, instead of one that will be independent of the council. As some councillors may be aware, I have more reason than most to question the actions of council senior officers and those in both the police and the social services inspectorate that led to the setting up of Operation Middleton in late 1998, 1999. Now, I'd hope you all know on this council today about Operation Middleton. As Assistant Director in Lambeth Social Services, leading on the initial trauma investigation with the police team, led by Inspector Clive Driscoll, I have concerns at the processes of establishing Middleton and its subsequent leadership. The current independent inquiry into child sexual abuse will hopefully address these matters. But meanwhile, having honourably acknowledged its past failures of care and agreed to provide compensation to those who suffered, Lambeth Council is in danger of losing the goodwill created by its action. Indeed, retreating back into defensiveness by not completing this process in a properly independent manner. I ask the Council fulfil its original commitment to complete this process in a thoroughly independent manner and within the spirit of natural justice.
In support of the independent panel, we have 40 MPs who represent our constituents outside. 40 MPs are saying it should be independent, and you are still, just surprisingly, people look at me in the face and think it's almost a shock that we would want something independent. How do you think the brother of a sister who committed suicide because of the past failings is going to feel coming forward to the same council again? Can't you even feel that? How would you feel if you were abused in a home, or your brother was abused, and they would have to go to the same people?
Ask for justice from their abuser. Ask justice from your
And it's all
abuser.
about politics and nastiness. And you know, how would you feel if your cousin was abused? Would you want him to go and face the same people? You wouldn't want it for your people. You wouldn't want it for us.
You don't.
Also, Helen Charles May turned around and said, we're going to write to the Association of Child Abuse Lawyers to get their opinion.
Get their
That's
opinion.
fair enough. Did they write to them? No. We wrote to them. And they said, independent panel. Why did you write to them? You said you were going to. As soon as you found out
Like let's pretend, Raymond.
they didn't
That's
want to write
right.
to them.
Give all these platitudes and do bugger all.
Former councillor wrote, Nigel Golding wrote, Clive Driscoll wrote. All of those people know exactly what the council did in 2003.
Okay.
In 2003, they did the biggest cover-up of all time. And let me tell you, it's going to come out. So while you're turning around and endorsing yourselves and patting yourself on the back, within the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to come out who you're protecting. So I'm asking you people to make sure you exactly know what is going on. The good knows, we showed her. We told her who's involved. Senior council officers were involved in the cover-up. And what resulted in people dying, there's something removed about you. What resulted in people dying was absolutely going through an investigation and being turned down. So we have a letter from one boy who killed himself.
What if
He
it was
said,
your
the reason why I
child?
attempted to commit suicide was because the council didn't believe me. When we looked at his cases after he committed suicide, we have a letter where the council said he was most probably sexually abused. We know that. So why did they go and tell him? Because of the cost ramifications. That's all you lot are interested in. And you know what? You're going to be elected again. All of you. Not be involved in politics. Well, no, it's politics that's working now. This shouldn't be a political thing, like the Conservative guy said. But you know what? There's so many paedophiles in the Conservative guy, I wouldn't listen to a word he said. What are you going to do by turning around? You put it down with £100 million. You thought that was enough, didn't you? £100 million for those pigs. You think that's enough? We want independence. Yes, 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 yes. How can I send my brother forward to put an application in to the same people that abused him?
Yeah.
How evil are you? Nowhere on this planet would people have to face the same people that abuse them. So why should we?
What do you mean? We want to do them something?
Birthday party, you idiot!
In disguise.
We don't care about the money. We just don't want They cancelled our funding. Oh, that's how dark these people are. That's how dark they are.
I witness them
We were supposed to sell you lot out. That's what they wanted. And then dangle some money here. As soon as we wouldn't sign up to the agreement, no funding for us. I don't care. I'll pay for it myself. You are shameful. You should get out of politics. Question out. And you've got the little notes from over there, and the Conservative guy comes in here and does a little pantomime, and you think we don't know politics. We know politics. Sir,
we know politics before you. Come here 61, I'm here talk politics with my father from I'm 2 years old.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like they killed my
You are murderers, let me tell you that. And if you carry this on, we're going to hang the tag on all of you. Yeah, don't give us the money. Fine. But don't force us to come forward and sit with you lot, judge and jury. That is inhumanly wrong. And somewhere in your fucking sight, something must tell you. It's wrong. Right, so let me tell you about what's going on.
I don't think we can possibly continue in this way.
You know what? All you have to suffer is 1 day of salary. All you have to suffer is 1 day of salary. Compared to what we suffered. Yes! Go with it. It didn't change your life.
Quiet. Some of what you're saying, but I'm afraid you don't care.
Go Michael!
Oh, shut up.
Give Michael a mic.
Can't hear you, Michael.
A moment of historic truth. I don't know whether each of you sitting here recognise, I think you should, and probably you do, how significant this moment is, because you, in a sense, are custodians for the public of the truth.
That's right.
And you have a moment right now, today, to make a difference. And I do hope that the statement that you made about how many people have signed up already is not an indication that a decision has already been made. Because in fact, of course, they may have shown an interest in a scheme, but the question is what scheme and under what conditions. Now, 11 months ago, roughly speaking, we were asked, effectively by you, but on behalf of SOSA, actually to draft a scheme. Which we did, and I don't know whether any one of you individual panel members have actually seen the scheme that we drafted. This wasn't done on the back of an envelope. We took a long time to put this together, actually not just for you, but for everybody in this room and outside who are concerned about what went on. And we recognise that you might be in the vanguard of something quite different. Yeah. An opportunity, as I say, a moment of truth that could be exposed. So what we did, not just me, not just Marcia who sits there, or Nick Brown who sits next, we had a team who sat down